and it's an universal convention.
Law of armed conflict, doesn't this conflict apply to two states when they're in battle? Does it apply to internal conflicts?
It's all conflicts, all conflicts. You see, there are conflicts that are not armed. There are ones that are armed. That is why I qualified it armed conflict. What is armed? When somebody carries a weapon, the belligerent, the opposite side, both of you are armed. That is armed conflict. And once the other party says, I am not engaging in armed combat with you again, fighting with you again, you give him all the privileges that goes with surrender, that submission. So that is it.
Some people will be concerned, I mean, about...
Definitely.
In terms
Definitely
of,
it will be so.
This has cost the Nigerian state quite a bit.
Yes.
And, you know, people have raised arms against the Nigerian state.
Yeah.
And, you know, cost, not just... The cost has been in terms of human lives, in terms of, you know, suffering to people, trauma and what have you. We've seen the devastation that has happened in the Northeast. And you know, we're costing billions of naira to build up back that particular region. And yet, nobody would seem, nobody is going to be prosecuted.
That is always paid for war, for conflicts. So, and that is why ab initio, people will tell you it's better not to go into a conflict than going into it, for both parties. You will agree with me that even the so-called commander, the intelligence commander that claimed to have led the raid of the capture of the Chibok girls, he is now an amputee. You imagine that? He went there a whole person, but now he's amputated. So what are you talking about? A loss?
What is the disincentive, General? What is the disincentive to any other group from taking arms up against the Nigerian state and costing the country so much in terms of human lives and resources?
It's a collective effort, and that is what the government is doing. You see, several committees had been set up. They have come up with solutions, possible solutions, to serve as disincentive to people that will take up arms against the government. And I believe that is a job for the general public, for the government, and they are working hard on that. For instance, you look at the Boriso government. I'm not supposed to go into this, but because we have asked, let us just look at it briefly. Trying to create employment for jobless youth and all, amongst that, to me, is a very small excuse. I stand to be blamed anyway, because that is normal. But again, we talked about our religious leaders, the way they preach, the way they were supposed to come out and then counter, you know, heresies and other kind of negative preachings. Those are the measures put in place. Those ones will serve as disincentive, because some of them will come out and tell you we were deceived about what and what, you know, we should believe to say we will fight Boko Haram education is bad. Let us, you know, force people to conform to our own ideologies. So those are the measures in place to discourage others from joining. And I believe that it will work.
Now, I understand that my colleagues in Lagos have questions for you.
Oh, General, could you tell us, is there any intelligence whatsoever about the location of the remaining Chibok girls?
No.
What about the location or any intelligence about the whereabouts of Shakal? Because we understand that the military were given certain orders to fish him out.
Well, if you are talking about a Shakal, which I will always refer to, because there have been so many Shakals, and I believe that there will be more Shakals. Shakals is a synonym, as far as I am concerned. And Shakal is also it's become like a big name now, like we used to have Bruce Lee in those days, James Bond in those days. So to talk about a definite intelligence or about location of a Shakal now, I don't think it's necessary. But what we are always bound to do and committed to do is that anywhere there's any Shakal, we'll always knock it off. You will agree with me that within this period I was given, well, you may not have gotten that information, but there was something about somebody somewhere around the location in Sambisa somewhere, and the Air Force went and neutralized the whole place. And after the battle impact assessment, everything was finished. So if there was a Shakal, according to the information we got, that went into hiding in that place, that one would have been neutralized. And I won't be surprised. We will not be surprised to hear that another Shekau is somewhere. But like I said earlier on, from the beginning of the whole of this saga, a Shekau can only be confirmed through DNA. But we don't have that technology or science in this country, where children that were born maybe 50, 40, 30 years ago, we take their DNA to compare. And of course, you will agree with me that Osama bin Laden was confirmed with his DNA, that this was a real Osama bin Laden. You know, of course, he was an elite, born in the United States, bred in the United States, so they had all his data. And when they knocked him out in Pakistan somewhere, they compared and it rhymed. So I will not want this issue to be terrorizing people any longer. That is why we are addressing it this way. And that is the truth of the matter.
So are you saying...
We'll be turning our attention to a slew of other matters in just a moment. But let's take a break now, and Sunrise will be back shortly. Please stay with us.